everybody. This month for Family Movie Night, I thought it would be fun to kind of look at some of Disney's darker films, some of their more scary films in honor of Halloween coming up. And it's a chance for me to see some movies I actually haven't seen since I was a little girl. I haven't seen for a long, long time. And the first one that we're going to talk about is their 1979 film, The Black Hole. And The Black Hole was going into it, I thought that The Black Hole was going to be a really scary movie, and it's not really a scary movie, but it's more of a sci-fi movie. It really feels like an episode of Star Trek. It's got some Star Wars elements. Star Wars came out in 1977. This came out in 1979. And you can definitely see some Star Wars influence, particularly with Vincent, a robot. Has definitely an R2-D2 feel to him. But other than that, really, it does feel more like Star Trek, which makes sense because, Star Trek, the motion picture, came out in 1979. So there's still definitely Star Trek sort of interest, and it just feels more sci-fi than fantasy. So this movie is about this group that is aboard the USS Palomino. It's kind of a Enterprise type group, and they come across this black hole, and they sort of emergency land onto the ship that is sort of on the edge of this black hole, and the ship is called the Cygnus. And it turns out it was an old ship. So one of the members of the Palomino crew, her name is Kate McRae. Her father was aboard the Cygnus at one point. And according to the Cygnus's captain, Dr. Reinhardt, that her father had passed away. Well, it turned out that I guess they got caught in a sort of meteor storm, and that Dr. Reinhardt ended up being kind of the only real sort of survivor, and they are sort of spent the last 20 years of his life sort of studying this black hole. He wants to go into the black hole, and and Dr. Durant, who's a member of the Palomino group, he wants to join Dr. Reinhardt in this sort of endeavor. So that's sort of the setup. And there is this robot named Vincent that the Palomino group has that's a lot of fun. And there's also this robot that's really scary that is named Maximilian that is part of the Cygnus group. And he's kind of, I don't know, he's just always sort of there, and he's sort of creepy and watching you. And then there are all these sort of faceless sort of soldiers almost that are on the Cygnus, and it's kind of a mystery in a way as the Cygnus crew tries to sort of figure out what's really up with Reinhardt. Why is he there? Why is there's all these faceless, creatures with these robots. What are they there? Who are they kind of hiding, I guess? And they end up having some pretty good action scenes where they're fighting, and this one scene where they basically go into the black hole, and there's this meteor kind of storm. It looks sort of cheesy, but that's kind of part of the charm of this movie. It definitely has sort of a hokey feel to it, but it's kind of fun too, I think. It's sort of hokey and engaging way, and all the actors are really good. You've got Anthony Perkins is in this. You have Ernest Borgnine. Maximilian Schell is Dr. Reinhardt, and you've got Roddy McDowall is the voice of Vincent, and so you have lesser known, and Kate is played by Yvette Mimics. So you have some lesser known, but also some familiar faces that you recognize. But they all are putting out, good performances. And I think that Reinhardt is a pretty interesting character. He's somebody that isn't. His character kind of builds over time, and you get to know sort of more and more about him, and you start to kind of trust him less and less and less, which works, I think, really well. And it's just overall, I think, an entertaining little sci-fi movie. It's definitely is a little bit slow at points. It's definitely not up to date as far as special effects all the time. It was a new sort of way of filming, and it was a PG film, which was kind of a big deal for Disney at the time. They have some bloody scenes. There are some violence in here that is interesting. Like, they're willing to kind of go places that a lot of movies probably wouldn't now, with characters dying and things like that happening. So it's overall a very, very entertaining little sci-fi movie. So if you get to see The Black Hole, let me know what you think. Do you like it? And put it in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!